Final Stand Studios. All right. I hope everyone had a good weekend. So, over the weekend, Elon Musk sent out a unhinged email to all federal employees requesting that they submit 5 bullet points of things that they accomplished last week. Pretty ridiculous coming from a guy that isn't even supposedly in charge of Doge, you know. The Trump White House can't even answer who's in charge of Doge. They just keep saying Trump. Elon Musk didn't go through a background check, didn't go through a confirmation hearing. He's not even a fucking American. You know, you have this piece of shit billionaire trying to micromanage millions of federal employees. Like, what on earth? In what world would this even work? You know, who's reviewing these 5 bullet points and making sure that they're not just bullshit, right? Like, what? Not to mention the fact that you're not these people's boss, man. You're not. You can say whatever about, well, Donald Trump appointed me. Oh, you know, you guys, legally, you guys can't even say that Elon Musk is in charge of Doge. So obviously whatever he's doing is illegal. Otherwise you would just say he's in charge of Doge. You know, otherwise you would just go through the normal channels, you know, appoint him to a cabinet position and, you know, have him do a background check, have him do a confirmation hearing, all the normal stuff. But no, we're just all supposed to accept this, that there's this billionaire fucking with our government, this unhinged drug addict, you know, 13 kids with 10 different women. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is going on here? And you have these dipshits defending it. Oh, well, if they have nothing to hide. It's not about that, man. Who is Elon Musk to ask anyone for that? Elon Musk isn't federal workers' boss. You know what? This isn't even about proving your worth. This is totally 100% about terrorizing federal employees to try to get them to quit. 100%. Just like his stupid ass email, you know, a month ago that was offering federal employees a buyout. These guys are the ultimate pieces of shit. During the campaign, they sat around saying, oh, Project 2025 isn't the plan. We're not going to touch Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. We're not going to, oh, that's not true. And then the second they got elected, the second they won the election, oh, actually, 2025 is the plan. We do want to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. You know, and you won't see, if you're a Republican that hasn't heard them, you know, Trump or Musk actually saying that, well, yeah, of course, they're not going to come out and say, yeah, we're coming after your Social Security. But look at their budget plan. Look at the budget plan that Trump just endorsed. It's like $880 million or $880 billion cut from Social Security. I mean, what are we even talking about here? Half the country's population is too stupid to even look into any of this, right? They turn on Fox News, they see Jesse Waters saying, well, you're going to get a big rebate from all these savings. First of all, they can't even point to any savings. They can't even point to any real fraud and abuse. You know, every time they make up some bullshit, it's fact-checked and proven wrong. Even Joe Rogan the other day was disproving this notion that there are tens of millions of dead people receiving Social Security, right? It's like they live in a different world, you know? So this is Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. They're going to talk about that email and how the various agencies within the federal government have responded.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We have an amazing show for everybody today. What do we have, Crystal?
Indeed we do. Glad to have you back, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a rough one out there. It's the worst flu season since 2009. So everybody out there, please take precautions. We're in color.
Has been interestingly, though, a lot of the agencies are telling their workers, including FBI now under Kash Patel, Department of Defense, et cetera, don't respond to this email. So very interesting.
And this is the other thing, on top of the fact that all this shit that they're doing is unconstitutional and illegal, right? On top of that, just think about how incompetent they are. These are all Donald Trump's guys, right? So one of Donald Trump's guys, Donald Trump's main guy, Elon Musk, the guy that's actually running things, sends out this stupid, ill thought out email that's pretty much just meant to stir shit up and terrorize federal employees, right? And then Trump's other guys like Kash Patel and RFK Jr., turn around and send out an email to their agencies saying, just ignore that. It's like, what? The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing? I mean, even if these guys weren't evil, even if none of this stuff was illegal, you'd still have to be like, what the fuck? Why are total incompetent idiots running everything, right? It's fucking embarrassing that none of these guys know what the fuck is going on. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's out playing golf, costing the taxpayers $10 million a golf day. And you guys want to talk about cutting social programs. You know how much subsidies Elon Musk gets from our government? Like $30 billion, I think, a year. Maybe it was $30 billion total. I think that's a year. Either way, you're taking school lunches away from kids and health care away from poor people while you get $30 billion a year in subsidies. And then you have everyday, ordinary people, not rich, not, defending it because they're too stupid to fucking know what's going on. Because they're too stupid to realize, like, oh, maybe it's not a good thing that we have a bunch of billionaires dismantling our government for their own gain. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it's not a good thing that my kids and grandkids won't be able to go to school because I'm not a rich guy. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it's not a good thing that you won't be able to retire ever because there won't be a social security system. Just work till you're dead, you stupid fuck. How dare you question what the billionaires do? You lowly peasant peon bitch. How dare you expect fairness in this world? How dare you expect free lunches for kids? Are you kidding me? Go get a job, Junior. You little lazy fuck. Go get a job. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, little Timmy. I don't give a fuck if you're 8 years old. Go get a job. Trump keeps talking about the Gilded Age like it was utopia. Back before regulations, back before child labor laws, back before, people had any rights to collectively bargain. Those were the good old days, according to Trump and Musk, when rich guys ran, absolutely untouched by anyone and could do whatever the fuck they wanted. Those were the good old days. The rest of us, well, fuck us. You don't deserve to live. You're not a billionaire. Your kids don't deserve to live. You can live in a fucking shack while Elon Musk buys, a $1 billion house. How does that sound, bud? Congratulations, you fucking dipshits. You enabled con men to come into our government and take everything away from you. For what? Because you're racist? Because you don't like Mexicans? Because you didn't like cackling Kamala? I mean, what? There's no way to justify this. And look, man, I'm sure in 30 years, people will be pretty clear-eyed about what actually went on here. You know, and there will be a lot of excuses being made from people that supported Donald Trump. There will be a lot of people that want you to believe that they're a victim. Oh, I was misled. I didn't know he was going to do that. Well, bullshit, man. We've all been warning you for so long. You don't get to be a dipshit and ruin everyone's lives and then turn around and act like a victim. You piece of shit. You know, it's not our fault that you're ignorant and uninformed. That doesn't make you a victim. The fact that you're too stupid to open a fucking book. You reap what you fucking sow, man.
Dynamics playing out here. We got some new polls revealing the latest about how the public feels about Doge and Elon and all of these things that are unfolding. We also had a purge of some of the top brass at the Pentagon. We'll tell you what happened and what it potentially means. Elections in Germany. So
yeah, they're getting rid of generals. They're getting rid of JAG lawyers. You know, why would they be doing all that? Do you really think it's because all these people, all these generals, all these JAG lawyers, do you really think it's because they're all DEI incompetent? Really? It has nothing to do with any of that bullshit. Trump needs to put his loyalists in the military, because pretty soon here, he's going to be turning the military against us. You know, that was the thing about Hitler's SS. Hitler's SS were loyalist fanatics. Hitler knew he could send the SS anywhere with any order, and they would follow through because they were loyalist fanatics. And that's what Trump wants. Trump wants an army of loyalist fanatics that will kill American citizens if he gives the order. If you don't see what's coming to pass right now, if you don't see what's taking form, I envy your ignorance, I envy your blindness, but if you can't see what's happening, you're lost. Turn off Fox News, turn off Newsmax, turn off, these news networks are throwing America away with propaganda. They're handing America over to a dictator. And you're eating it up. Try to imagine something. Try to imagine that this was a Democrat administration. And instead of Elon Musk, you have someone like George Soros. Try to imagine that. George Soros, unelected, no background check, no confirmation hearing. Technically, he's not in charge of anything. Standing in the Oval Office, next to the president, telling the media what he's going to do while the president stays quiet, right? Sending emails out to millions of federal employees, requiring them to kiss his ass, requiring them to answer to him, even though he's nobody. Elon Musk is nobody. Oh, he's the richest man in the world. You know, it's all speculative, for one thing. I don't think he is the richest man in the world. I think all of his companies are way overvalued. Right? And he's certainly not this genius everyone wants to pretend he is. He's a lunatic. He's a fucking drug addict lunatic. I mean, you can't write this shit, guys. We're getting up to that line. We're going to cross that line where there's no going back. That point of no return. We're getting close now. And once we pass that line, then a lot of people are going to wake up. But it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late by then. And then what? You're going to tell your grandkids, well, I did vote for Donald Trump, but, I didn't know he was going to do this. Well, The fuck you didn't? The rest of us knew. You chose not to listen to us. You chose to say things like, oh, Trump derangement syndrome, instead of actually listening to what the motherfucker had to say. Now he's publishing fake magazines that have himself on the cover calling him a king. And the crazy, a lot of people are waking up, but the crazy thing is there's still so many Trump supporters that are defending this bullshit. There's still so many people saying, yeah, Ukraine was at fault. Like, what reality are you living in? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Ukraine should have elections. Yeah, okay. Putin's been in charge of Russia for over 20 years. Give me a fucking break. Like the real elections Putin has, give me a fucking break, dude. I'm fine with disagreeing. If you thought, we have problems here, we shouldn't be giving Ukraine so much money, that's an opinion, and we can have that disagreement, and that's fine. But if you're just going to deny reality and say that this whole thing is Ukraine's fault and Zelensky is the dictator, not Putin, I mean, what the fuck? Everyone, including you, knows that's not true. Like, what is it? We're all just supposed to pretend that the little lie you're telling is reality? We're all just supposed to go along with the little lie you want to tell?
Nebraska and Iowa in particular, massive overflow crowds kind of leading the way for Democrats. He actually has a strategy that he is pursuing. Lo and behold, at least one person has some idea of what they're doing out there. Warren Buffett is hoarding the most amount of cash in Berkshire Hathaway that he ever has. So what does that indicate? There are also some other troubling economic indicators. We're going to take a look at all of that. And Luigi Mangione made an appearance in court. Our own Spencer Snyder was there on the ground talking to people who are outside, protesters and his supporters who were outside.
They're going to try to give the death penalty to Luigi. And even though the vast majority of people support Luigi, they'll probably get it done. We probably won't be able to stop them. There are things I want to say on here that I can't say. They'll throw me in jail. But I think you understand where I'm going with this. We could save him, but we won't.
Explaining what they thought about his case and why they were there to support him. So really interested to get that on the ground report as well.
Yes, that's right. And continue to monitor the FAQ on his website with a lot of great interest. Did you watch that segment?
No.
Yeah, Ryan and I did it. It was an FAQ all about how people can send him photographs. And to keep in mind that those photographs are screened by the police. Just in terms of the number of thirst-trapped Luigi finds himself receiving on a daily basis.
What can you say? He's a
great-looking
man.
Dude. I have to say, I told you guys on the call, I am absolutely in love with Luigi's sweater. I'm in the market, so if anybody knows where he got it, please let me know. All right, let's go ahead and start with Doge. So actually a very interesting showdown happening here in Washington. And I would say the first major institutional pushback within the MAGA coalition, the government against Doge. Here, let's put this up there on the screen. It began with like an Office Space style meme email that Elon sent to the entire
So I have a family member that works for the federal government, and they received this email on Saturday, and they were pretty out of sorts about it. I think they'll be okay if they lose their job. They're pretty upset about some of their newer coworkers that moved across the country and have a bunch of little kids and whatnot. But I mean, this isn't a pragmatic solution to anything. What are you gonna do, Elon? You're gonna get millions of emails listing bullshit. And I'm not saying federal employees don't do stuff, but even if you didn't ever do anything at work, you could just write 5 anythings. Who's going to review it? Who's going to, if you haven't been fired yet, then obviously your boss isn't going to fire you. Obviously your boss is fine with what you're doing. This is just bizarre and stupid and impractical. And it's obvious what the point of the whole thing is. It's to continually make federal workers feel like their job is at risk, continually make them feel insecure so that they start looking for jobs in the private sector, right? You know, these guys know that they legally can't just fire everyone, even though they're firing a lot of people, but there's going to be, you know, crazy lawsuits over that shit. But I mean, this doesn't accomplish anything. And I read all these comments, well, if they don't have anything to hide. What do you mean if they don't have anything to hide? He's asking for 5 bullet points on what they accomplished. Anyone could write down 5 bullet. Oh, I made a schedule for the, you know. I guarantee you they did way more than 5 things over the course of a week. This isn't about hiding stuff. This is about having to answer to someone that is not your boss, that is not elected, that is not a confirmed member of the cabinet. Just some random fucking billionaire, not even an American, by the way, which should matter. I mean, there's a reason why you have to be an American to run for president. We shouldn't be allowing these foreign leeches to come over here and control our government. Go control South Africa, you fucking piece of shit. Elon has to go. I'm sure he's got 15 bodyguards and rides around in a fucking tank. Listen, he's got to go. Figure it out. He's got to go. Okay, you're mad? Well, let me tell you. These are the things that need to happen. He's got to go. Trump's got to go. Okay? Figure it out. It's not impossible.
Federal workforce on Saturday around 3 p.m. And it says, what did you do last week? Please reply with approximately 5 bullets of, note the, like the weird pronunciation there. 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. Deadline is this Monday at 11:59 EST. So let's go to Elon's explanation for that email. It says, consistent with President Trump's instructions.
This is the other thing, you know, he loves to threaten people. He loves to call people names on. And here he says, failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Even though the email didn't say anything about the resignation, right? So again, it goes back to this incompetence, this inconsistency. Like, these people don't even know what they're fucking doing. If that were the case, Elon, if you really felt like, if you don't respond to my little power grab email, then you're fired, you're resigned, then why wouldn't you put that in the fucking email, right? I mean, this is pathetic. This is the same guy that's calling astronauts retards and all sorts of other names because they call out his lies. He's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. And then he has the gall to turn around and say, CBS lied. Oh, CBS edited that interview with Kamala. They should all be thrown in jail. You know, Fox News has done the exact same fucking thing with Trump. And I'm sure you. That is very standard for media companies and news companies to edit interviews, right? Yes, it can be misleading at times, right? But they all do it. Rules for thee and not for me, right? I wouldn't doubt if they try to just ban any sort of liberal media, right? Nothing but propaganda left.
All federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week. Failure to respond will be taken as resignation. So this appears to have been probably the most explicit example of Elon/Doge quote-unquote overreach with pushback, because what immediately happened was their agencies telling them not to comply. Keep in mind—
First of all, if you work for the federal government, you know, and Elon is supposedly not in charge of Doge, They keep saying, "Oh, Elon's not in charge of Doge." Well, who is? Oh, the president. Well, who's in charge of Doge? What is Elon's role here? Is he or is he not the guy that's making these, you know? Of course he is. Of course he actually is in charge of Doge. That's blatantly obvious, but it's illegal, so they have to act like he's not. Well, if they're going to act like he's not in charge of it, then why on earth would any federal employee listen to anything he has to say? Caroline Levitt last week just said that he's not in charge of Doge, so if I got this email, I would fucking throw it in my trash bin. This is so bizarre, so incompetent. I mean, I guess I should be happy that they're so incompetent because they're evil. The last thing you want is a bunch of evil assholes being, super effective. But fuck.
Trump has not spoken out about this at all. If anything, he's been encouraging him to go further. Put that next one, please, so we can show people. It says, Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make greater than ever before. MAGA. Immediately.
A country to save. We're going to save the country by cutting social programs and giving tax cuts to the rich. And there's, normal people, not rich, that eat that shit up. It's you've had enough time to figure it out. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm sorry, but something has to be done with you. I don't know what that is. Personally, I think after this civil war is over, we should maybe revoke certain people's rights to vote. But we should definitely throw a lot of these Jesse Waters types in prison for knowingly spreading propaganda that resulted in the downfall of our republic. We've tried to take the high road for so long. We've tried to do things the right way for so long, right? When there's an election, we try to win it the honest way. What do? They do these vigilante vote challenges in Georgia and other swing states and have millions of votes thrown out. They cheat. They ignore the Constitution. They ignore judges. They talk about throwing people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in prison, because she's giving people information they have a right to. Elon Musk was saying that the people in charge of CBS should be thrown in prison. This is the game they're playing. We can take the high road, right? Or we can start playing the game they're playing. They have declared war on you, and you don't even know it yet.
Though, following that email, Kash Patel, the newly confirmed FBI director, directed his entire workforce not to respond to the email. It just says all FBI personnel may have, I love may, have received an email from OPM requesting information. The FBI, through the Office of the Director, is in charge of all of our review processes and will conduct reviews in accordance with FBI procedures. When and if further information is required, we will coordinate the responses. For now, please pause any responses. Thank you. Kash Patel. On the right.
So, there you go. There you go. Kash Patel. They go on to talk about RFK Jr. Doing the same thing. That's over here on this side. Basically saying, yeah, don't respond to the email until we know what's going on. Look. This is incompetence. This is evil. This is Elon Musk trying to bully millions of federal employees. Elon Musk, 5 bullet points. Elon Musk and Trump love to act like all these employees are waste. All these employees aren't doing anything. Meanwhile, Trump's out golfing. Trump has golfed 9 days out of his first 30 days as president. That's like a third. Are you kidding me? These are the guys that are throwing a hissy fit about people working from home. and insists that people aren't actually doing anything. And he has time to golf 9 days in his first month in office. And then you stupid ass redneck morons that got him in there in the first place sit around and defend him. I mean, you can't write this shit. Elon Musk, like, what work does Elon Musk ever do? Do you really think Elon Musk is working his ass off? He's a joke of a human being, and he doesn't do anything. He's not at Tesla building cars. He's not over at the Twitter offices, having meetings. He's not doing anything. He's a typical billionaire. They don't do anything. Why are we letting these guys be king in the year 2025? We're supposed to be past this shit. It should be blatantly obvious that these oligarch billionaire robber barons need to pay their fair share in taxes and stay the fuck out of our politics. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll say it till I'm red in the face. If this was George Soros behaving like this within a Democratic administration, the Republicans would be rioting. Republicans love to talk about the Constitution until their guy starts violating it, and then it's suddenly you don't want to bring up all the shit he's doing. You don't want to talk about it. You love to talk about the fucking Second Amendment. Oh, don't take our guns. Well, you know who's going to take your gun? Our new king is going to take your gun, dipshit. Once you guys realize what he's doing, way too late. It's going to be way too late, but once you realize, yeah, he's going to come take your gun. We're getting to that point of no return. And look, you can keep watching Fox News, you can keep watching Newsmax, you can keep listening to Joe Rogan and these other morons that don't actually understand anything about the world. Go for it. Go for it. But in 10, 20, 30 years, don't you fucking dare pretend that you're a victim. Don't you fucking dare tell your kids and grandkids that it was out of your control when you're the reason why this happened. When your support for this man is the reason why we lost our republic. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. You've had enough time. And that fucking boat has passed. So, I don't want to hear it. You reap what you sow. It's one thing to be ignorant. It's another thing to be ignorant and believe that you know things that you don't. Okay? I have no patience for people that have no humility. You were all so sure that this guy was your savior. You were all so sure that he was going to make America great again. You were all so sure that the problem wasn't billionaires and corporations not paying taxes and rigging elections. That wasn't the problem. No, it was the migrants that are eating the cats and the dogs. We tried to warn you. We tried to warn you, and you said Trump derangement syndrome, libtard. Okay. Well, when we lose this great experiment that was called America, you're the one that's going to be to blame. So, get used to it. You made your bed, now you can sleep in it.